CRISPR Therapeutics and the Ark Genomic Revolution ETF are shaping up beautifully on the charts as we kick off Q4 and prepare for 2026. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys about why I've just decided to add a pretty sizable ARKG call position to the Waves portfolio and why I'm incredibly excited about the future of my CRISPR common shares that I've held for many, many years now. Okay. My name's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to Waves Capital. Let's dive into the charts. All right, so we're going to discuss the fun stuff. I'll do my best to justify why I set a $60 plus price target for ARKG in 2026. And we will, of course, look at CRISPR as well, talk about why it's shaping up for a pretty good looking two-wave pattern at this point in time. But before we do that, before we talk technicals, I really just want to quickly go over why I'm bullish on these stocks from a fundamental perspective. So if you have been watching my videos or if you've been a member of the portfolio group for any meaningful amount of time, you know that CRISPR has been a name that has been part of my common share portfolio since 2020. I've been bullish on genomics for a long time. I would consider myself pretty early on the biohacking movement that I'm, to be honest, I'm not so into anymore as I was a few years ago, like 10 years ago. But still, I'm very interested in the sector from a personal interest perspective. I do think that, just from all of the information that I've consumed over the past decade within this space, I do believe that genomics has a place and will become used significantly more as time goes on. It's taken a while, due to regulatory purposes. This is a pretty gray area even to this day, but I do think that there will be a Moore's law kind of thing that happens to genomics and the genomics sector and genomics companies, just the advancements with genomics and genomic treatments. And by Moore's law, I mean, there will be once it gets going, which I think is happening now, I think the growth will be exponential, not linear. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's, 2, 4, 2, 4, 8, 16, etc. Okay. So that's just my 2 cents there. That's just the way I've felt about genomics for a long time. But, I just want to say that genomics, if you look at this chart before we kind of talk about the upside here, it's really clear that this sector has been suppressed for quite a while. Okay. I shouldn't say suppressed. I mean, it's performed pretty well, even from these April lows. ARKG has performed pretty nicely, but compared to, a lot of AI stocks, just to use the easiest example, compared to a lot of crypto companies and crypto stocks, Bitcoin, you can see that from these 2021 highs, we are nowhere near where we were. So from that 2021 top, we corrected similar to many other sectors, many other tech growth sectors, close to 85%. But still to this day, from that 2021 high, we're still down 74, 75% from those 2021 peaks. Okay. So I do think, just given kind of the general fundamental spiel I just made, I do think that along with this technical breakout that we'll just discuss right now, just get straight into this, there is a really, really strong case to be made for genomics, not just ARKG and CRISPR, but a lot of genomic stocks to thrive in the months ahead. And before we do that, again, sorry, I'm just kind of bouncing around here, but this is important. I will say that the genomics sector has been suppressed, and it's also a very interesting and unique space fundamentally, which I kind of just covered. But I feel that even in the case that we get a pullback in AI and tech stocks, which I actually just made a video about, so I'm sure you might have seen that. If we do see, the AI bubble pop or Armageddon, I think that ARKG, CRISPR, and other select biotech stocks could still manage to perform well. And I'll just tie that into, again, the underperformance relative to a lot of these hyper growth sectors over the past few years. Okay. And then again, I'm just bullish on the space in general. And I think there will be some exponential advancements in growth, not only in the stock prices, but once again, in the actual treatments and the advancement of the underlying technology. Okay. So technical, ARKG has just done something very, very significant. And I'm glad that we established this position yesterday, just before today's pretty darn impressive 4% move higher. Okay. And that is ARKG has just also, considering the market closed about 5 minutes ago as I'm recording this, ARKG has just broken and closed a daily candle above a line of resistance, multiple touch points, 1, 2, 3. These are weekly candles, keep in mind. This is a line of resistance that's been in play since August of 2022. So over 3 years, ARKG has been in this very, very visible, but this is a textbook descending channel. Again, you type descending channel into Wikipedia. This is the picture that should come up. And we've just technically broken and closed with today's closure, a daily candle above this line of multi-year resistance. And we're also above the 100-week moving average, which is also very, very bullish. Okay. So technically speaking, I'm not saying we're just going to keep going up. I'm not just saying there's going to be a whole bunch of green candles standing in the way. We'll probably see some resistance at what I believe this is the 200-day moving average right here. I'm sorry, 200 a week because we're on a weekly candle. So 200 weekly exponential moving average. Around here, $31, $32, probably see some resistance there, maybe pull back a bit. But I can see, especially if we pick up some steam behind the sector, which for all the reasons I just discussed, I think is going to happen moving through Q4 of 25 and into Q1 and Q2 of 2026. Hopefully beyond, we'll see. But my first profit target is going to be this area right here, around $47, $48, just because this has been, a historical area where ARK has seen. And I always try to be conservative with this. You could say this is really kind of the area, this is where we've seen all those candle wicks close, multiple candle wicks. But if I'm setting an upside price target, I always try to play it conservatively. So we're going candle closures. I'll go 47 right there. It's my lucky number, so I like to see that. I do think we will see some resistance, some pretty heavy resistance in the case that we do rally up to $47, $48. But overall, my favorite trading pattern in the game, many of you would know this broken line of support is glaring me in the face as a potential new line of resistance. And that would take us up to, if we see this happen by the summer of 2026, that could take us up to $60 or higher. Okay. Again, I don't think this is going to be a straight line up. The same goes for Crispr, which we'll take a look at now, but things are looking really, really promising for genomics and obviously, again, the Ark Genomic ETF, which before we move into Crispr, I'll just go here. And a reason I chose to play call options on ARKG as opposed to Crispr is because Crispr is already a large portion. So 10%, pretty much 10% of the Ark Genomic ETF on top of all of the names you can see here. I've been a fan of actually Garden Health for a long time. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not super well versed on all of the names within this ETF, but Cathie Wood and the Ark, the Ark Fund, it is their job to find some names that they believe are competent, and I trust them enough to diversify the portfolio. Again, especially considering Crispr is one of the larger holdings in there. It's nice to have some diversification within what I strive to make an already diversified waste portfolio. So on that note, before we talk Crispr on the charts, if for some reason you're not a member of the Portfolio Group newsletter yet, it's the first link in the description or in the pinned comment of the video. I know most of you who are members of the YouTube channel are a part of the newsletter and Portfolio Group. A lot of the stuff I say in these members videos does, I do speak to you as if you are members of this. But if you're not, what are you waiting for? It's $15 a month. Again, sign up. But if not, I still appreciate you being a member of the YouTube and appreciate you watching this video. And I hope you're as excited about this genomic sector as I am. So Crispr looking super, super bullish. I mean, I love to see this right here. Crispr recently broke out from the downtrend it was in. We're still using weekly candles, and just keep in mind, this is a pretty macro perspective. But Crispr, as you can see here, just zooming out, nice, clean, subtle megaphone channel, the cyan of this blue line right here, the line of resistance on this megaphone channel, orange line, the line of support on said megaphone channel. Crispr broke out, came back down in early September to retest this broken line, or this line of broken resistance. It's a new support, bounced nicely off that. Currently above all weekly major moving averages, which is also huge. And from here, I think that Crispr, I mean, again, just this is a classic kind of two-wave setup. We're about to set a new 2025 high. Things are looking really bullish. Came back down. I mean, successful bounce once again. It would surprise me if we didn't see higher highs from here. My first price target for Crispr is going to be this line of conservative. You can see 3 weekly candles tried to get above this level, didn't. So I'm going to use this as my line of conservative resistance. If we see this happen by the end of the year, that would take us above 80 bucks, around like 81, 82 bucks. But overall, I really think it's likely that we ultimately test this line of kind of the top line of what I would call absolute resistance on this megaphone channel. We still have 3 weekly candle wicks here, so I expect this to be tested at some point if I'm right about this whole genomic revolution thing. Getting legs in 2026. I do think that we can see a potentially a $95+ CRISPR moving into Q1 and Q2 of 2026. Okay, so just to close this one out, I'm bullish on the sector. I apologize for bumbling over my words at the beginning of the video. It wasn't the most eloquent. It's been kind of a long morning so far, but I'm excited for what the future has in store for names like ARKG, names like Crispr, just other names within the sector. And, I'm pumped to follow them and hopefully ride the waves with you guys through 2026. So let me know, as always, what you think about genomics in general, what you think about these stocks or these new plays in the waves portfolio in the comments. And I'll catch you downstairs. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.